The man sat quietly in first class, on the run from something he couldn't escape. At that moment, 10,000 meters above ground, the plane hit severe turbulence. It jolted violently. A female college student, terrified of heights, turned pale, her breathing shallow and rapid, on the verge of passing out. Flight attendants searched the cabin and found only one empty seat. Right next to that silent, reserved man. The gears of fate began to turn, quietly. In the chaos, a pickpocket slipped the girl's wallet from her bag. The man's bodyguard reacted instantly. A swift takedown pinned the thief to the floor, but just then, the plane lurched again. The girl lost her balance and fell forward, her lips accidentally brushing against his. The air froze. The bodyguard assumed she'd insulted the young master and moved to intervene. But the man raised a hand, stopping him. His expression remained eerily calm. Only he knew. The ice around his heart had just been gently cracked. Mortified, the girl quickly pulled a handmade trinket from her bag and handed it to him, blushing. "I'm so sorry, please take this as an apology." He said nothing but quietly accepted it. Yet in his eyes, there was now a flicker of quiet curiosity. When the plane landed, he hung up on his fiancée's impatient call and decided to vanish for a while. He just wanted, in this unfamiliar city, to catch his breath and live a few days as himself. Meanwhile, the girl went to a bar with her best friend. Carefree and relaxed, she had no idea danger was closing in. A group of thugs surrounded them, making lewd comments, even grabbing at her. She panicked. She tried to run, but they blocked her path. Just as she felt utterly helpless, the bar door swung open. A group of imposing figures walked in. The woman was being harassed by a group of thugs. Lewd remarks, grabbing hands. Without a word, he took them down in one move. Clean. Efficient. The crowd stared in stunned silence. That kind of skill wasn't something an ordinary person possessed. He was the personal shadow guard of a powerful heir, a master of combat, while she was already dead drunk, with no memory of how she even left the bar. He took her back to his place. Fueled by alcohol, they lost control for one night. The next morning, she woke up in an unfamiliar bed, utterly bewildered. But he was startlingly direct. "My name's Ozzy. I'm younger than you." Then, with quiet intensity, "I don't want to wait anymore. I'm going to pursue you." Faced with this young, earnest suitor, she went from resistance to slowly lowering her guard. Their relationship heated up fast, sweet as honey. But beneath the calm surface, undercurrents were already stirring. One phone call yanked him back to reality. He wasn't just a bodyguard, he was the young master of a vast, ancient power. Since childhood, he'd been betrothed to the heiress of another elite family. His younger brother called, voice urgent. "They've issued an ultimatum, if you don't return to complete the marriage, war breaks out between our houses." And their father, old and frail, couldn't survive such chaos. He had no choice. He had to go back. Before leaving, he warned his brother repeatedly, "Don't, under any circumstances, tell her my true identity." But he didn't know. Another thread of fate was tightening in secret. She'd been feeling nauseous lately, exhausted, gagging at the smell of cooking oil. A terrifying thought, one she dared not voice, began to take root in her heart. She decided to keep it secret until she was sure. Just then, he spotted a figure on the street corner. His face went pale. It was her, the fiancée arranged for him. She noticed his sudden tension and asked worriedly, "What's wrong?" He forced down the storm inside, managing a strained smile. "Nothing, just hungry." He had no idea she was carrying their child. The man made a vow. He would settle everything and come back to propose to the woman he loved. But he didn't know that the farewell letter he left behind would become the sharpest dagger aimed at her heart. The woman clutched a breakup letter in her hand, the handwriting so familiar it made her chest ache. And at that moment, their child was quietly growing inside her. A meticulously woven deception was about to shatter her life completely. Flashback. One night earlier, his fiancée came to his door, not to talk about love, but to deliver an ultimatum. "If you don't return to complete the marriage, our families go to war. Immediately." He was the sole heir of a mysterious, powerful faction, betrothed since childhood. He coldly refused. "I love only one person. She's the one I'll spend my life with." But she laughed. Then she struck his weakest point, the girl he'd met under a false name in a quiet southern town. "You think hiding makes her safe? If I want, she'll vanish from this world within 3 days." Those words pierced his heart like ice. He knew she was right. To protect her, he had no choice but to surrender. For now, he returned to the gilded cage he'd fought so hard to escape. His plan? Act fast. Resolve the family conflict, then rush back to marry her. Before leaving, he wrote a letter, filled with tenderness, promises, and hope. He gave it to his younger brother, instructing him to deliver it personally the next day. He believed that family loyalty was the safest trust. But he didn't know. This letter would become the cruelest blade driven into her chest. The next day, the girl woke in morning light, holding a pregnancy test, her eyes shining with joy. She couldn't wait to share the news with him, but instead, she found only his brother. His brother said flatly, "He's gone. He's not coming back." Then handed her the letter, but its contents had been altered. Every word icy, every sentence final. It claimed their time together was just a fling and told her never to contact him again. Her world collapsed in an instant. She refused to believe it. So, his brother began systematically destroying her faith. He's not some ordinary lawyer, he's the leader of an underground empire. Being with you was just a distraction during his rebellion. And by the way, he's been engaged for 2 years to an heiress from a matching family. To make her give up, his brother even pulled out a stack of cash. "Take it. Consider it payment to erase this foolishness." Each sentence cut deeper than the last. She fell from heaven into mud, numb with pain. Meanwhile, the man, thousands of miles away, was frantic. He called her again and again, but she never answered. He called his brother for updates. On the other end, he lied calmly. "She found out about your identity and your engagement. she feels betrayed. She's left Dot and says she never wants to see you again. That news nearly destroyed him. Trapped in his family's iron cage and abandoned by the love of his life, his fiancée pressed harder, demanding the wedding. His heart turned to ash, yet he still refused. Even if she doesn't want me anymore, I'll never marry you. On the other side, after her breakdown, the girl grew calm. She couldn't believe the man who'd held an umbrella for her in the rain, who remembered she hated cilantro, could be so cruel. She was certain he had his reasons, so she made a decision. She would go herself to that distant, dangerous place to find him and ask him face to face why. She gently touched her still flat stomach and whispered, "We'll go together and get our truth."